are several clauses that you can utilise in a court. So you can actually do stuff private, protected, under CPR. I don't know if you're familiar with CPR. It's civil procedural rules, basically the rules of the court. And under Rule 39.2, it says that any evidence that needs to be shown in court can be held under protective order, which you would need to serve a motion of protective order, and that documentation or that evidence will not be allowed to be seen by the other party, and the judge will assume, you know, the liability of it and bring it into the court as seen by the other party, even though they've got no jurisdiction to see it. But you have to go into the chambers with the judge and sort of like bring it out to him then under the protective order. And one of the things is that it's stipulated it's personal finances under trust. So when we recognise what a trust is, which is pretty much what this discussion is about, and that was just laying the foundations for where we were going and how to recognise the power of utilising trusts and new trust technology, is that we would take, for example, like if we've got someone lives in one house, someone lives in another house. Yeah, this house is a big huge house and this one is a little house. This one does, you know, its little thing, and this one does its big thing. Now there's some form of relation going on between the two, which may or may not be recognised under law. So we have to recognise what law is, and there are different law forms, including common law, criminal law, penal law. There's law of negotiation. There's, you know, there are different laws, and there's universal law. There's natural law. And natural law, or God's law, is what's termed equity. Now what they've tried to do is, they've tried to pull common law into statute. But basically what statute is, for the benefit of those who don't know, is statute is the rules and guidelines that the governments must follow from the constitution of the people that was given to them to follow. So the Queen's government, the Queen has been given a set of regulations laid down by the Magna Carta that she must follow, and that's then followed up with the Declaration of Rights, and that is what the people gave to the Queen for her to follow. Now if she doesn't follow that, then she's in a breach of trust, because there's a relation going on between the people of the land and her government. So she's claiming that she's the Godhead of the church, and the church is open for all to be a part of. So people are saying, okay, we'll let you govern our land according to your religion, your philosophy, your law, and these are the rules that you have to play by. Now most people don't know what the Constitution is, they don't know what's involved in it, and they probably don't know what.
Most people don't even know we've got one.
Yeah, and the peculiar thing about England is it's an unwritten constitution, which is very convenient. But there has been lots of commentaries done on it. Lord Blackstone, back in the 1700s, he's done a lot of commentaries on the common law of England as pertains to the Magna Carta, which is one of the constitutional instruments that was given to the government to act by. You know, they can't really come out of that unless we allow them to. You know, did we allow them to go and invade Iraq? Did we go and allow them to do, you know, nuclear leaks in Redden and stuff like that?
Well, the Lisbon Treaty and all the EU.
Yeah,
treaties,
you know, we're not enforcing that constitution on them, so they're just running wild.
Yeah, but is she not broken our constitution by signing?
Well, that's it, you know, if they have or they haven't, are we recognising whether they have or haven't?
What is our constitution now?
The unwritten one.
Is it case? Is it through case law? Is it?
It can be through case law, it's an unwritten law.
What is it though? If it's not unwritten, what is the opposite of unwritten?
I don't know.
No, it doesn't. It's just right.
Yeah, it's the law and customs of the people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's what's gone before, you know. Yeah, so you can basically state your claim and prove it, you know.
Like the laws governing unincorporated bodies, you know, like for companies and industrial property societies, you've got the acts that are produced rules by that.
Exactly.
So you can quite easily see those, but with unincorporated bodies, which is just a group of people getting together to do something, and they immediately are recognised as an unincorporated group.
Yeah.
They're governed by case law. So if you try and search for how the rules for an unincorporated group, you'll be told it's by case law.
Well, that can be, but it may not necessarily be so, because unincorporated associations can also be trusts, and trusts are not.
Trusts are. A real trust is unincorporated.
Yeah, but it's not limited to trusts, are they? Unincorporated.
Partnerships and sole traders.
Yeah, yeah. So, for example, if you don't work for a company, then you're not really bound by their laws to, you know, when I say laws, their rules of the company, unless you're in payment or in contract with them. And then as soon as you sign a contract to work for them, now you'd have to follow the laws that they give you, which are the rules.
Your own management system.
Exactly, it's the management system, yeah, and that's basically what the constitution is for the Crown. So it's kind of beautiful in the sense that it's been left unwritten, because now you can come in and enforce what you claim is wrong, you know.
Ireland's constitution is written down, isn't it?
Ireland probably is,
Yeah.
yeah. But they're still owned by the Crown. Don't think many Irish know that.
There's all sorts of stuff that's unwritten though. I mean, all walks of life, all cultures have got written aspects to them. I mean, obviously we've got ours, but we're a multicultural civilization here really on this island. And, you know, all the unwritten and you know, the animate language is the way that, I mean, the Mayans didn't have writing and they got on with civilization. Well, that was a language which meant something every time it was said. They had ways of memorising that, but it wasn't a written language.
Well, you can have people who are deaf, dumb and blind, and you know, and they may not be able to
celebrate
write
all
or
of that,
something.
but what is that? That's unwritten. That's a lot. That's a hell of a lot.
Yeah.
It'd probably be left unreligion with it unwritten, eh? It'd all be alright.
Well, it is. True religion, isn't it?
So what does America make such a big point of its constitutional rights then?
Because they don't understand what it is.
I can understand what they don't understand. So
Yeah.
so is that kind of like the double use of language again, where they've given them rights, but in a way it's taking the rights away from them in the same breath as giving them?
Yeah, they think that they are part of the Constitution,
No.
but what they fail to recognise is that the 14th Amendment made them all citizens. And when you're a citizen, you then come under the jurisdiction of the country. And you're under their jurisdiction then, so that's the little trick what the government have done. They've made you a citizen, so now you actually gave them the Constitution, and now you're employed by them, yeah. And you've never disclaimed it, so it becomes part of the contractual obligation.